What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. And for today's weekend news video, we got something very interesting for you guys, because we have something very interesting. Now there's a question that everybody's been talking about for a little bit. And the question is this: with the Undisputed Universal title match taking place at Clash of the Castle, will we see Karrion Kross and Cena be added to the main event of Clash of the Castle? That is the question we are going to start with, that we are going to answer right now in today's video. And if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want to see more WWE news videos, which get posted on Thursdays, sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below. And as always, if you guys have any fan mail you guys want to send me, the info will be in the description as well. And if you guys have not checked out yesterday's video, which was actually an advanced Crystal Beast deck profile, if you guys haven't checked it out, be sure to check it out. It was pretty interesting, to say the very least. But let's get straight into it. So let's talk about Cena for a second, because the last time we saw him, it was about a couple months ago, where we saw where we got the chance to celebrate his 20-year anniversary of being in WWE. And ironically enough, it was June 27th, 2002 was when we got to see John Cena compete in the ring for the first time. And it's weird, because when you think about it, Cena has done a lot for WWE. He's done like movies, he's done so much, and there's been rumors going around saying that both him and Karrion Kross are going to be added to the Undisputed Universal title match, which will feature Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns in the main event of Clash of the Castle. Now, a couple weeks ago, John Cena was at Comic-Con Wales in Cardiff, and many were curious as to whether or not he would be back in Cardiff for Clash at the Castle next month. And it was picked up on by Wrestling Inc. Big shout out, no copyrights as always. Apparently that topic came up during a panel chat that Cena was on at the event. And speaking on that, he said, quote, "I've been coming over to Cardiff for 15 plus years. I'm not going to be at Clash. I wish I was." However, we do know that things could change over time as we move closer and closer to Clash at the Castle on September 3rd. And he could be saying that, he could be saying that on purpose, just to make himself a surprise entrant, entrance, if you will, which is a possibility. But we know that he's been in Hollywood, here in Cali, spending time with his wife, and just doing his own thing. And we have not seen him in the ring or the compete in the ring since SummerSlam last year, where he lost to Roman Reigns over the Universal title, and then later on, on September 10th of last year, he had teamed up with Ray and his son Dominic to take on all three members of the Bloodline, which was in a dark match, but that was it. That was it. And other than the celebration that he had a couple months ago, that was the only time we saw him. By the way, shout out to Starbucks for the coffee. Not sponsored, just love their coffee. Cold brew is awesome. And yeah, that's actually soy milk. Right on the bottom, that's soy milk. I gotta mix that up. There we go. Anyway, so it's a possibility we could see John Cena be at Clash at the Castle. We could even also see him compete for the Undisputed Universal title, which would make it a triple threat. But with Karrion and Kross potentially added to the mix, it could be a fatal four-way as well, which is interesting because we saw Karrion and Kross come back, return to WWE. What was it? Like a week ago or something? And this time Kross had his real life, his IRL, his off-screen, his actual wife Scarlett with him, and Scarlett took his ominous hourglass into the ring, flipped it over, and Kross told Roman, "Hey, I'm coming for your title. I don't care what anybody says. I'm coming for your title." And it's interesting because, hang on, guys, my brother. Oh, sorry, phone bill. Oh, phone bill. Never mind. Sorry, guys, that was the phone bill texting. That was the phone bill texting me and my grandparents. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. So it's interesting because if John Cena were to be injected into this match, making it a triple threat, Kross would end up getting involved as well, making it a fatal four-way, which is a possibility. But Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer on his radio station, big shout out, no copyrights as always. I don't really know who listens to the radio anymore. Who the hell? Anyway, he stated that apparently they're not gonna put him in the match. So he said, quote, "For Cardiff, it's still Roman and Drew. I was told, of course, this can always change, but I was told that it's really not going to change, and that they feel that has to be the match, And then, of course, as far as Kross facing off against Roman Reigns at some point, he basically said, quote, "So as far as when he's getting his shot at Roman Reigns, because obviously they're building to that, I have no idea when that will be." And then, as far as, potentially Drew winning the title off of Roman, he basically just said, "I don't think Drew's winning the title. I don't think anyone's getting the title off him until after the Rock match at WrestleMania 39. I mean, it seems perhaps they could do something where they beat him and then he beats the guy back like with Drew." I know some people have talked about that idea, but they're really playing up this like 700 days thing. And then he ended up talking about the whole thing with Roman and everything else, as far as Roman's schedule goes. He said, quote, he said, quote, unless he comes in for a TV match, Roman right now, he's scheduled for Cardiff, and I think he's scheduled for Survivor Series. After that, I don't know. Not Philadelphia, he's not on that card, which is the Extreme Rules show. So it wouldn't be there, so it's a ways off. And then, of course, too, on the topic of Karrion Kross, about Triple H making Kross a main eventer, Meltzer concluded saying, quote, if Paul, Triple H of course, if Paul will have a longer leash with him, in the sense that if it was Vince, he'd give him 3 weeks and then he'd panic and say, that guy couldn't get over. With Paul, I think they'll go a long time because he pushed him forever and ever in NXT, and their mentality was, if we keep pushing, they made him undefeated. If we keep pushing him, he'll eventually get over, and I think that will probably be the mentality here. Keep pushing him and he'll get over. It's an interesting one. The thing with him is that I can sort of see their mentality that he could be a top guy because he looks exactly like they want top guys. Exactly like they want top guys to look. Now, it's interesting because it's a possibility, again, even though the plan, is to keep the match one-on-one, it's a possibility we could see a fatal forward because for one, when Karrion Kross was, I got called up to the main roster after losing the title to Samoa Joe at NXT Takeover 36 last year, right around this time last year, Kross was a part of Raw for a little bit, but even as NXT champion, he was, he was on Raw going up against the very best in the business, guys like Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley, Cedric Alexander, just to name a few. And things, apparently, I guess things didn't work out so well, so he ended up getting released, which honestly was unfortunate because he could have been a hell of a threat to the WWE title, which could have been a possibility, but at that point we would never know. But with him back in WWE and now with Scarlett in his corner, I have no doubt. I've got no doubt in my mind. Kross is going to be a massive threat to Roman's run as champion, and even also Cena. The same thing it goes with Cena. No matter how many times he goes after a title, whether it's the tag team titles, whether it's the world titles, whether it's the United States title, he always becomes a threat because he knows how to play the mind games. That's Cena. That's what John Cena does. Karrion Kross is doing the exact same thing, and for these two to be injected into that match, making it a fatal 4-way, not only does this put Roman's odds at retaining the title to a slim chance, but even with the Usos bailing him out, he could still lose the title, which is a very high possibility. But honestly, with the way things are going now, with Kross, dealing with McIntyre, I can definitely see Roman retaining the title at Clash at the Castle, and then Kross beats McIntyre, and then Kross goes over to Survivor Series and takes the WWE title off of Roman Reigns, which is a possibility, or as I said, it could also become a fatal 4-way, which might be a possibility as well. But honestly, but again, the question is, Could we see it happen? No, I really don't see that happening. I think it's just going to be one-on-one, but of course we all know cards subject to change. It could happen at any time. It could happen at any given time. But that brings me to the question of the day. Do you guys want to see this match become a fatal 4-way? Or do you want the match to be one-on-one? Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more WWE news videos, which typically get posted on Thursdays, sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And as always, make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail that you guys want to send me, and you guys want me to open it up on the channel, all the info will be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.